started. 1 second. Okay. Alright, so as children, we're all asked the question, what did we want to be when we grew up, right? Some people would say, I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a doctor. In the case of my friend, he always wanted to be a stay-at-home dad. But for me, this was a really overwhelming question. There was so much I wanted to do, you know? And really what it boiled down to was I just wanted to help people. I didn't care what I did as long as I could help people. So as I started to grow up, I started to notice what I do like to do, and that was build things. I really like to build things. I built this model and totally loved it. I had the time of my life. So pretty much my career choice, along with these two gentlemen, was to be a civil engineer. In civil engineering, you really see how your work affects the community in a positive way. So that's why we all chose this field, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. So we're going to give you a little bit of a feeling of what a project would go like. So the process that it really takes to design a project and to really go through it. So what an engineer does. So it's mainly to create necessary community resources, so have an impact on the community in a positive way. It is to examine the elements of infrastructure, so by building things, you do that, you help people. And to design a realistic projection for construction. So basically the work that you do through this research and everything like that, you can make a project that is reasonable and can actually be built. So the process that we took in our project, since we didn't have access to necessarily all the information and the technology that professional engineers have, we did basically a simplified version of that. So first we picked our project, research-related projects, to get our information and figure out what we really had to do. And then we created a floor plan of the interior of our resort, and then also a scale model of the exterior. So the first thing you have to do when doing a project like this is pick your location. A lot of times in the professional world, it is more you're given contracts and such. People come to you to do their project. They try to figure out who can do it in the cheapest, cleanest way. But in our case, we had to go out and find our own project. So we looked at a lot of different locations. Mexiana Island is where, let's see, it's like in northern Brazil, so pretty much where the Amazon River meets like the Atlantic Ocean, that's kind of where it is. The problems with this was, one, the resources. There was contaminated water, which would make it not the greatest place to live. And also, there wasn't too much civilization that we could actually benefit. The next one we looked at was Progect, which is in northern Russia. Obviously, since it is in northern Russia, it's very cold, and it wouldn't necessarily be the greatest place to have a summer vacation. Well, also with this, the community was already like fully developed, so basically if we brought a resort in, it wouldn't have too much of an impact. The next one we looked at was Uleungo, which is off the coast of South Korea. So obviously with that, it is far from the United States, and there would be military concerns. How would we ensure that our guests were safe? With that, it was a very mountainous area, which makes it very expensive and difficult to build on. And also there weren't many people there, so our impact wouldn't really be seen. We also looked at Samana Cay, which is in the Bahamas. Again, it is already a touristy location, people already go there, and the civilization was already pretty developed, similar to Russia. We ended up deciding on Niihau. Now Niihau, we'll go into more detail in a minute, it's basically an island off the coast of Kauai. And the reasons for this was it is a domestic product, it's a part of the United States, so it would be a desirable location for our guests, our target audience, which would mostly be people from the United States. And then there's also, since it is a part of the United States, there's known figures. So we would have access to things like building codes, things like just information about how expensive it is to build in these areas. Also, there's an unemployed indigenous community, so by bringing this resort there, we could have a big impact on the community, and we could help them in a positive way. There's also a rural environment, which means that it isn't very developed, so we can really do whatever we want in this area. There's lots of space to move around, we can design in our own way. As for resources, there's sustainable farmland, which would be very positive in the future, and we could export goods, or we could even just sustain our own island. Very desirable climates in Hawaii, so obviously everybody loves Hawaii. And then there's very moderate terrain, which makes it very easy to build on.